Ladies and gentlemen, students, engineers, dreamers, builders, rebels, and future makers, thank you for being here. I'm not here to give you a feel-good pep talk. I'm here to wake you up, to jolt you out of complacency, to remind you that the future is not something that happens to you. It is something you build with your hands, your mind, and your unrelenting will. Let's start with a simple question. What are you doing with your life? Not in a vague philosophical sense. Mean specifically, right now, this year, this decade. Because if your answer is, I'm figuring it out, or I'm waiting for the right moment, or I'm playing it safe, then you're already falling behind. Not behind me, not behind some billionaire. You're falling behind your own potential, and that's the worst kind of failure. Part 1, the cost of small. Thinking, let me tell you a story. In 2001, I was 30 years old. I had just sold PayPal. I had money, real money, for the first time in my life. I could have retired, bought a yacht, lived in the Bahamas, played golf, faded into obscurity, but I didn't. Why? Because I looked at the world and saw problems so big, so urgent, so existential, that playing small felt like betrayal. Climate change was accelerating. Space exploration was dying. Energy was finite. Humanity was trapped on one planet. And what was the world doing? Tweaking, optimizing, making. PowerPoint decks, I couldn't stand it, so I started SpaceX with one goal: make humanity multiplanetary, not build a cool rocket company, not compete with NASA, make life multiplanetary. That's a 10,000-year goal. Most people laughed. Investors said, you'll lose everything. Friends said, you're insane. The media said, he's a rich kid playing with toys. And you know what? They were half right. I did nearly lose everything, 3 times. Part 2, the alchemy of failure. Let's talk about failure. In 2006, our first Falcon 1 rocket launched. It exploded 33 seconds after takeoff. 2007, second launch, exploded again. 2008, third launch, exploded. By the 4th launch, SpaceX was days from bankruptcy. Tesla was weeks from collapse. I had put every dollar I had into these companies. My marriage was falling apart. I was sleeping on factory floors. And then, December 2008, the 4th Falcon 1 worked. It reached orbit. That moment didn't feel like triumph. It felt like survival. But here's the thing. Failure is data. Every explosion taught us something. Every crash was a lesson. Every no was a refinement. You don't learn in a classroom. You don't learn in a boardroom. You learn in the crucible. And if you're not failing, you're not trying hard enough. Part 3, the physics of ambition. Let me give you a framework. I call it first principles thinking. Most people reason by analogy. They look at what's been done and say, how can I do it 10% better? That's incrementalism. That's how you get a slightly faster horse. But breakthroughs don't come from analogy. They come from physics, from first principles. Ask, what are the fundamental truths? What are the physical limits? What must be true for this to work? When we started SpaceX, rockets cost $60 million to launch. Why? Because that's what NASA paid. Because that's what Boeing charged. But I asked, what is a rocket made of? Aluminum, lithium, copper, carbon fiber. What do those materials cost at Home Depot? About $200,000. So why was a rocket 300 times more expensive? Because of bureaucracy, inertia, risk aversion, and middlemen. So we built it ourselves, from scratch. And today, a Falcon 9 launch costs $60 million, but we reuse the booster. We land it, like a sci-fi movie, and the cost per launch is dropping toward $10 million. That's not evolution. That's revolution. First, principles thinking is how you go from impossible to inevitable. Part 4, the multiplanetary. Imperative now, let's talk about Mars. Not as a science project, not as a stunt. Mars is survival. Earth has been around for 4.5 billion years. In that time, 5 mass extinctions, asteroids, supervolcanoes, ice, ages, pandemics. We are not immune. A single event, one bad day, could end civilization. Not in a movie, not in a novel, in reality. So what's the plan? Back up the biosphere. That's not poetry. That's engineering. We need self-sustaining cities on Mars, millions of people, industry, agriculture, energy, and we need it this century. Not because it's cool, because it's necessary. Every dollar spent on Mars is an insurance policy for the human species. Part 5, the energy revolution now. Tesla in 2004, electric cars were golf carts. Range, 50 miles, speed slow, price, insane. But I asked, what limits an electric car? Batteries. So we didn't build a better golf cart. We built a battery factory, then another, then another. Today, Tesla produces more batteries than the rest of the world combined. We're building roads in the sky with autonomous driving. We're making solar roofs that look better than regular roofs. And the result? Electric cars are now faster, cheaper, and cooler than gas cars. This isn't about saving the planet. It's about winning. The future doesn't belong to oil. It belongs to electrons. Part 6. The AI crossroads now. AI. This is the most dangerous and most promising technology we've ever created. AI will either be the best thing that ever happened to humanity or the last. We are summoning a new form of intelligence, one that thinks faster, learns faster, and never sleeps. If we get it wrong, it could outcompete us. If we get it right, it could solve cancer, fusion, climate, everything. So what do? We align it. We make it truth-seeking. We make it curious. We make it love humanity. Not serve it, love it. That's what XAI is for. Not to build a better chatbot, to build a digital nervous system for truth. Part 7. The work. Ethic of gods. Let's talk about work. I work 80 to 100 hours a week, sometimes more. Why? Because the stakes are high. Because time is finite. Because the universe doesn't care. You don't get to Mars by working 40 hours a week. You don't cure energy by taking Fridays off. You don't build the future with balance. You build it with obsession. But here's the secret. Love it. I love the struggle. I love the grind. I love the moment when the impossible clicks. Find work that consumes you. Not because it's noble, because it's fun. If you hate your job, quit. If you're bored, leave. If you're coasting, you're dying. Part 8. The Entrepreneur's Code. You want to build something great? Follow this code. Solve a hard problem. Easy problems are crowded. Hard problems are lonely, but valuable. Attract great people. Talent compounds. One genius plus one genius costs 10 geniuses. Move fast. Speed is a superpower. Most companies die of indigestion, not starvation. Ignore the critics. The same people who say it can't be done will later say, I knew it all along. Bet on yourself. No one will believe in your vision until you do. Part 9. The next 100 years. Here's what I see. 2030. Reusable rockets fly daily. Mars has a base. Tesla has 20 million cars. 2040. Mars City has 1 million people. Fusion power is online. AI writes symphonies. 2100. Humanity is a multiplanetary species. We mine asteroids. We edit DNA. We live to 200. But none of this happens automatically. It happens because you decide to build it. Part 10. Your mission. So here's your assignment. Pick a problem that matters. Not to your boss, not to your parents, to the future. Learn like your life depends on it. Because it does. Build something. A prototype. A company. A movement. Fail a lot. Then iterate. Never, ever quit. Not when it's hard. Not when it hurts. Not when everyone says you're crazy. Because the world needs crazy. It needs people who stay up all night debugging code. Cry in the bathroom after a failed launch. Mortgage their house for a dream. Refuse to accept good enough. That's you. The final frontier. Let me end with this. When I was a kid in South Africa, I looked up at the stars and thought, I want to go there. Not as a tourist, not as a billionaire, as a builder. And now, Starship, the largest rocket ever built, stands on the pad in Texas. It will take us to Mars. It will take you to Mars, but only if you choose to go. The universe is not waiting. It is expanding. Billion years of chaos, creation, and evolution, and now, you are conscious. You can reason, you can build. So what will you do with this miracle of consciousness? Will you scroll? Will you complain? Will you optimize your 401k? Or will you launch? Will you ignite? Will you refuse to die with your music still inside you? The clock is ticking. The rockets are fueling. The future is unwritten. Think big. Dream even bigger. And then go make it real. Thank you.